Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier, the DRFBets race of the day for Wednesday, April the 10th, race number 7 at Keeneland. We're going 1 mile on the turf. It is a conditioned allowance race for fillies and mares. I want to remind you about the DRFBets promotion in April surrounding the race of the day. We are rewarding our loyal race of the day viewers with a money-back guarantee. Bet $7 to win on one horse in each race of the day in April using bets.drf.com or the DRF iPhone app. And if your horse finishes second or third, you get your $7 back. Let's meet the field for race number 7 at Keeneland on Wednesday. You can download free formulator past performances on the race of the day event page at drf.com. Access some handicap along with us. We'll take the field in post position order, beginning with the number 1, She's Pretty Lucky. And Matt, you look at She's Pretty Lucky one or two different ways. One, she's a dirt horse. She's won half of her dirt starts. She's 0 for 6 on turf, and she's just better on dirt. Or you could say of the 6 starts on turf, 4 of them she had no chance in graded stakes. 1 she had trouble last time out, and the representative effort 3 starts back was a good second that gives her a chance in here.
That's more the way that I would be viewing her. You're right, her victories have come on dirt, but I do think she's run better on turf, and she's just been thrown in some really difficult positions. The most recent run had a little bit of an issue coming down the lane, but even having said that, the Timeform US rating for that race for her, that's a very competitive number in here. And the run 2 starts back, she was just overmatched in the Endeavor, but if she replicates the 85 Beyer and the 113 Timeform rating, I think she's right there in a spot like this.
The number 2 is Carta Bianca, first start 4-year-old, first start North America, first start Lasix, first start Roger Attfield. This filly really did not begin her career against the top competition in France. I think she was actually claimed back in September, but she's now won 3 out of her last 4 races. Last time out, they switched her to a synthetic surface, and in watching that race, it was pretty impressive because she was last turning into the straight. And while everything worked out from a traffic standpoint, she was able to split horses and was never stopped. She ran by those 10 other horses very nicely. The second place finisher came back to run 4th in the Lady of Shamrock at Santa Anita. The 4th place finisher of that race came back to win. I'm worried that Attfield is using this race as a prep for something down the road at Woodbine, but I liked enough of what I saw from that race. I like that Pratt is named, and I just don't really love anyone else in this race, the known commodities, so to speak.
I agree 100%. This is the kind of fresh face in here where I agree with you. I don't love anyone else in here. I kind of feel like I know what they're capable of. This filly right here, I suppose there's a scenario where she might be a legitimate kind of stakes caliber runner over here. I'm not suggesting she's going to be a grade 1 type, but she could be something bigger and better. My 2 concerns, one, what you had made mention, is this nothing more than a means to an end to get her up north of the border and run back at Woodbine? And 2, you look and see, I know they had campaigned her predominantly at sort of those middle distances, 1 mile, but I'm kind of with you. I love the way that she ran at 1 mile and 3/16, and I do wonder she could be better going a little bit longer than this flat mile.
Number 3 is Contributing. You rarely get a big price on these connections. Brad Cox, Florent Giroux. This one is stretching out and should show a little bit of speed. But the 2 times they have stretched her out in the past, I mean, I know it was for the Proctor barn, but Tommy Proctor's a fantastic trainer. She just really didn't show much, and she was 9-2 in that Boiling Springs, 5-1 in that allowance at Churchill Downs. I wonder if she really wants to go this far. I guess she can be forwardly placed.
Yeah, my concern is the distance here. I feel like there's a reason they've campaigned her at shorter distances throughout. Now, you stretch her out. They've done it a couple times. It hasn't worked either time. I just kind of feel like we're probably setting ourselves up for a similar situation, even though you have to respect these connections. I don't think she wants to go this far.
The number 4, In the Lee, might very well be the horse to beat, even though she has been away for over 6 months. She kept some very good company last year, second in the Perfect Sting Stakes behind the Good La Sardane. Last time out, I didn't really see the trouble. It said in tight stretch. She was steadied a little bit, but I thought she was done at that point. As a matter of fact, Jose Ortiz had the whip out about 3 furlongs from home, just trying to get this horse motivated, and she did not finish very well. I wonder if she didn't like the give in the ground. It was the first time in her career that she faced anything less than firm going. She didn't seem to like it at all. That was a quality group, with the 5th place horse coming back to win the Senator Ken Matty with a 98 Beyer.
Yeah, I mean, I look at her and say she's the kind of horse, if you just look at it based on a class standpoint, I think she's faced the better horses. If you want one of these sort of domestic hopes as opposed to the fresh face coming in from Europe, I think she's the right horse. I do wonder a little bit if this is nothing more than a springboard for her to get back to New York, to get to Belmont Park, a one-turn sort of configuration. Perhaps she's a little bit better at that than going to two-turn variety. But again, her credentials, they speak for themselves. She's got the figs.
Another horse getting a little bit of class relief is the number 5, Valentine Wish. This is a mare who 2 starts back ran in the Grade 3 My Charmer, was 79-1, and all things considered, I didn't think she ran very badly. She broke poorly. She was last on the rail. She altered course widest into the stretch, and she was running on late in a race that produced a couple of next out winners. Last time out, she was just simply too close to a very fast pace at 108-1, and Valedictorian, the runner-up, has now come back to run 3 times. She's won twice, one in graded competition, with buyers ranging between 94 and 96. She's going to appreciate this class relief.
Yeah, absolutely. And second off the bench, historically, she hasn't been great first off the bench. I think she's taken a step forward here. Second start off the layoff. I do wonder if she's really this good. If you think that the filly from Europe is going to be something, if you think in the Lee is ready to fire, I don't know if Valentine Wish is quite as good as those potential horses, but I think she's one you need to use underneath or consider using.
Let's throw up the Timeform U.S. pace projector for our Wednesday race of the day, and we see the number 6, Bonnie Arch, expected to be out there on the lead. I'm a Bonnie Arch fan. I liked her race at Ellis Park last summer. The problem is she has not come back to that race since. Her most recent effort, I just couldn't find an excuse. It looked like she got loose down the backstretch, and they ran right by her in the lane. With this kind of situation, catching the favorite off of a long layoff and a couple of horses off layoffs or off disappointing performances, maybe Bonnie Arch is brave. Something tells me the 3 contributing is going to be a lot closer, however, stretching out in distance.
I agree, and I liked Bonnie Arch in that most recent run, and like you say, when I go back and watch it, I didn't see any reason why she ended up folding as badly as she did. And then you kind of couple that with the idea that I don't love the field that she ran against that day, with the exception of guy. She's a nice fit. I just look and say, I don't like her efforts at Keeneland. I don't like the form that she's in now. It's difficult for me to make the case, even with that pace projector. 3rd start of the year for the 7 Fizzy Friday. I don't like the fact that she has forgotten how to break out of the gate in her 2 starts this year. I wonder if that's a sign that maybe she is going off form just a little bit. On her very best day, she has races. You just have to go back a bit. That's the problem. I mean, you're going back quite a ways now over to the summer. That was the last time she won a race, and that was off of a freshening. You make a little bit of a concern about where she is as far as breaking out of the gate. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt about the most recent run at Turfway. Perhaps she didn't like the surface, but I got to see a little bit more. But 10-1 for Leparoux and connections, that could be interesting.
A horse that does like the Keeneland surface and can be close to the pace is the number 8, Dynatail, but we have not seen Dynatail since the Keeneland fall meeting when she won a 3x allowance. She beat 3 next out winners that day. She had a very nice trip, prompting the pace, taking over in the stretch, changing back to her left lead. That's what she does in just about every start. But this mare does have some back class. And if the 6-horse Bonnie Arch just isn't in form, I guess there's a scenario Dynatail falls into the same trip as last time.
Yeah, I think she's honest, and that's kind of a horse in a race like this that could be dangerous if you think she's ready to fire off the bench, which is a little bit of an unknown for her. She's really bombed a couple times coming off of the layoff. She usually excels second start out. I think she could work at a really nice trip in here, and you brought it up. I feel like if she runs back to that Keeneland race from last year, I think she's interesting in here at a decent square number, 4-1.
In the Mood is a horse that's been competing on synthetic and on dirt. She's only raced twice previously on turf, but again, both of those races she was 46-1, 60-1. This is a more appropriate spot for her, but she is another that just has to get back to her best form. It seems she's a little bit short of that right now.
Yeah, hard to make her in a spot like this. I also think her best race came on that wet track. She's 1-for-1 on a wet track on the main surface. To me, she's just overmatched.
Let's take a look at our top selection for the Wednesday race of the day. We both have the same idea. Carta Bianca's 5-1 on the morning line. And again, I am concerned that this race is merely a stepping stone to something at Woodbine over the summer for trainer Roger Atfield. But I like her as the fresh face. I think she's going to be kicking in the lane. I have to go with several horses in multiple race wagers. I'm going 2, 4, 8, and 6.
Yeah, I'm going 2, 4, 6, and 1, or excuse me, 2, 4, 8, and 1 in here. It's a situation where I go, I want the fresh face, and I do. I agree with all the things that you laid out. You and I look at this very similarly. This could be nothing more than a means to an end, but if she is at least 85-90% ready to go. I like her chances in here, especially if you get that 5-1 morning line.
Nice race to kick off the DRFBets Race of the Day sequence this week. And remember, for our loyal DRFBets viewers, money back on the Race of the Days throughout April. Bet $7 to win on any one horse in the Race of the Day using bets.drf.com or the DRF iPhone app. And if your horse runs second or third, you get that $7 right back. Approximate post time for the 7th at Keeneland on Wednesday, 4:24 Eastern. Best of luck.